You know, listen, all the motivation that I had to do TeShuva, all the motivation that I had to change came from you. I watched your films, spoke to you, got the package, but then the rabbi told me that you're crazy and no one can do what you say, so I just listened to him, and I didn't do TeShuva. Instead, I went and joined the cash advance business. Instead, I continued going with Goyot. Instead, I continued violating Shabbat. Instead, I went back to drugs. This young guy called me, and I haven't heard from him in 4 years. 4 years ago, he contacted me and told me he saw my films, wants to do TeShuva, change his life. So, I do the best that I can to help people, give him some words of encouragement, chizuk, and I sent him a free kiruv package, invested a few $100s in it, and sent it to this kid, even though he had plenty of money. I didn't want money to get in the way, and I sent him a bunch of material. But I never heard from him. I haven't heard from him in 4 years. But then I get a phone call, and I'm not answering the phone, and he starts texting me. He's telling me that he made millions of dollars in the cash advance business. And he went back to drugs. And he's in trouble and needs my help. Okay. Nobody else can help him. So I talked to him. So after we talk, we try to figure things out. He starts telling me about his messy life. And tells me that he was in the cash advance business, and literally within the first month he closed $100,000 in commissions worth of deals, in just a few deals. By the second month he was already closing $1 million deal. Literally made a lot of money, and I stopped him there and I said, okay, so those handful of deals that made you a bunch of money, tell me, are all of those people still in business, or they declared bankruptcy? And it didn't take him more than 3 seconds to respond, yeah, of course they're all bankrupt. Of course, they all lost everything they have. So these customers that you made 100,000 in this one, 50,000 in that one, 10,000 in this one, all these people made you a bunch of money right away, and you continued making more money. But right away you already know you're making money, but you don't know what's going to happen. So you could excuse everybody that goes into that vicious Amalek business of cash advance, and those that are like it. Well, people don't know the damage they're causing people. But you know, after a few months, when those same customers are declaring bankruptcy. I told him, so wait, so all of them went to bankrupt? He said, every one of them. And but what about the money? Do you still have the money? The money that you made? He goes, nah, Rabbi, all that's gone too. Every penny is gone. But now I want to go into the rehab business. I said, why do you want to go into the rehab business? He says, because all of my co-workers in the cash advance business, dozens of people, all of them are connected to the drug world in one way or another. And all of them have been damaged by it. Shem Yishmo V'Yatzil. So you have drugs, you have a corrupt, predatory business that's destroying businesses and lives day and night. Horrible. I asked him, like, listen, I sent you a package 4 years ago. At the time, you were really ripe for doing TeShuva. I invested in you. put money into you, put time into you. What happened to you? Not that it matters today, but still I want to know what happened. He said, tell you the truth, Rabbi. I spoke to you. You really woke me up. You sent me that package. I was so excited. And then I spoke to the local rabbi here in the community. I told him about you. He said, yeah, I know. He's crazy. Nobody can do that TeShuva that he says. Don't listen to him. The rabbi told you this? He says, yeah, this rabbi, yeah. He's the family rabbi. Family Erev Rav. So what'd you do after that? He said, listen, all the motivation that I had to do TeShuva, all the motivation that I had to change came from you. I watched your films. I spoke to you. Got the package. But then the rabbi told me that you're crazy and no one can do what you say. So I just listened to him. And I've been literally dodging you for 4 years. And I didn't do TeShuva. Instead, I went and joined the cash advance business. Instead, I continued going with Goyot. Instead, I continued violating Shabbat. Instead, I went back to drugs. In fact, this time the drugs were much worse than the first time. And the sins were much bigger. And I've destroyed a lot of lives. I didn't know whether to scream or to cry. I didn't know who was the bigger murderer here. I mean, this poor kid got into a business without even having the proper tools or education of what it even is. At least not in the beginning. But I could assure you that in Shemaim, every single sin that young man made in the last 4 years, every single one of them goes to that rabbi's account. With just a few words, he literally murdered this kid. But he's a rabbi. And some of you would even know his name in different communities. He's not the most popular, but nonetheless, certainly some people know who he is. And he took a kid that was about to do TeShuva, that was doing TeShuva, and simply decided to tell him, nah, stay the way you are. That's the version of Esav that's more dangerous than any missionary, that's more dangerous than any Nazi, that's more dangerous than any version of Esav that exists, because it's the Esav that's within. As a rabbi, I must emphasize that this mitzvah is mandatory for every Jew, as it ensures all members of Am Yisrael can properly celebrate the holiday with dignity and joy.